Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I wish to thank the honourable member for raising this question. The simple answer is it is effective, can be improved, and the government is committed to making those improvements. I'll explain a bit, Mr. Speaker, sir. This work is shared between the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center, the Ministry of Mineral Resources Department, Mr. Speaker, sir, where they have the seismology observatory team, and of course Ministry of Rural Development and Disaster Management. Basically, tsunamis will be triggered by earthquakes. In terms of the detection, monitoring of earthquakes in Fiji, we have what we call seismic stations in Fiji. There are about 8 of them in Fiji. In Dausamu, in Nasinu village, Nambukilewira, Sawirara, Mua in Tebuni, Tumbo in Lakemba, and Dongtuki in Bonolep. Those are the seismic stations, sir. And we have 3 tide gauges, one in Lautoka Wharf, one in Suva Wharf, and one in Watia, in the Mba and Tabu area. Pacific Tsunami Warning Center helps us as well, particularly with their buoys, and they relay information. The buoys work through satellites, and they give us advanced information as well, usually within the range of 15 minutes, but it has come down now to lesser than 15 minutes. Apart from the detection, communicating the information perhaps is where some of our challenges lie. But as I've said, can be improved, and government is committed to making the improvements. Particularly to our people in the rural islands, where there is no Vodafone or mobile phone coverage. What government did through a Japanese-funded aid a few years back was to improve on the AM stations, and that has helped us in communicating, particularly with the extreme rural areas. Mobile applications and the use of mobile phones, we are still in discussions with the service providers, Mr. Speaker, sir. And of course, there is a modem that we are currently exploring. It's with Singapore, that we are hopeful that we can procure and have it with the service providers. Apart from the blast text that we use, particularly during disasters and COVID, but we are also looking at sort of a system where through the modem, every mobile user will be alerted through this modem that will be with the service providers and of course with the Ministry of Rural Development through the NDMO office as well. And then we have the alarm systems, early warning systems particularly. We have our disaster risk reduction. In the Suva Peninsula, Mr. Speaker, sir, we started a few years back with an initial 3 sirens, and then added a few more. Now we have about 13 sirens within the greater Suva area, starting from Nandawa to Lami. We have this concentration because that's the concentration of our economic activities as well, and heavily populated too. We are following the Honorable Prime Minister's meeting with his Japanese counterpart way back in 2017. We have also been able to secure some funding, and that funding has been signed and confirmed that we will start this project in November this year, Mr. Speaker, sir, where we will install an additional 26 sirens for Vitileum. Those 26 sirens, Mr. Speaker, sir, the locations have been identified. It will start from roughly the Cuba area right up to Lautoka. If you are interested in the details, I have the locations that have already been identified, given the technical aspects of the machine that we are getting. And most importantly, Mr. Speaker, sir, the training of our people. Now the village communities, the ministry has conducted over 300 training in almost all the 4 divisions in training our people to manage their own disaster responses should they receive alerts. So that basically, Mr. Speaker, sir, is the work that we have done. As I've stated, it is effective for now, but can be improved, and of course government is committed to making those improvements. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.